What is going on, guys? Welcome back. Commentary for you. I want to talk about when to buy a stock and maybe when realizing you've waited too long. This is the 1 month chart for AbbVie, a stock that I bought this morning, and you can see over the course of the past 1 month, it's went up roughly $10. This is a stock that back in August was only $66, and I'd watched it for a very long time, and I wanted to get into this stock, but I was reluctant to do so, pretty much because I already own some pharmaceutical companies. I didn't want to become overly invested. You go over, you take a look at their Seeking Alpha report. And if you're new to dividend investing, these dates down at the bottom, the declare date is when they basically come out, go over their earnings, discuss if and what their dividend payment will be. The ex-dividend date is the date that you need to purchase the stock by to get it. The record date is the date they record the stock shareholders that will get paid, and the payout date naturally is when you get the money. So you can see here, one share would get you $4.72 per year or $1.18 per quarter, and then obviously the dividend growth for them over the past 6 years has steadily increased. Now, when you look at the 1 week chart for AbbVie, this is really what made me decide to pull the trigger. I wish I could go back in time, and part of that is just learning when to get into a stock better. I wish I could go back in time in August and get it at $66 a share. But you see a dip here, and it is still a little bit expensive, but I know that it's going to be a consistent stock for me. At least I believe it will be, and I trust in this company. They've rebounded well. Although it's a higher entry point than I wanted, I was able to get in for $68.60 this morning. Now, that doesn't mean when I decide it's time to buy that I'm going to go all in. I have another $1,500 I could have thrown into this. I chose not to because I want to see how it reacts. I can learn a lot in the market by buying at what I believe is a low point and then seeing where it goes from there. Now, the mindset being, if I liked it at $86 and say 60 cents, then wouldn't I love it at, say, $86 even? Whereas I might not be as tempted to buy it at $87 or higher because I know, hey, right now I could have got it at 86. But a lot of reports show this stock easily holding a value of $90 plus, and if nothing else, I want to try to take advantage of that short-term gain if that's something that I'm interested in, as opposed to not holding it for its dividend value, but I am actually interested in holding for its dividend value. And while I would have gotten a much greater return with the dividend staying the same at $66, I will certainly look to take it at $86, and in a way, kind of admit I made a mistake in when I should have purchased this stock, and I don't want that continuing to escalate as we go forward, and this stock gets closer to the $88 it's practically at now, just in the course of a day. So sometimes when you take a starter position, you have to give up a little bit of price, but you do that in order to watch and learn from that stock and try to learn the trends of that stock, as you can see from those charts, when it dips, if it goes back up, and then you can use that information to better time when you're going to repurchase the stock, or even if you're going to repurchase the stock, if it's something you no longer think is going to be credible for your portfolio. A lot of things factor into that. One of the primary things, though, is how you've allocated your funds and trying to make sure that you've diversified yourself well enough that you're not buying into an area that you continue to have. Speaking of that, I have a video coming up over the course of the week where I go through one of the most requested questions you guys have had is, how would you start investing? And I'm so glad you asked that. I have a $500 profile that you can go start a portfolio right now today with as little as probably $15 to $20, if that's something you guys are interested in. I'll always have the link down to my Robinhood in the description. You can basically go with me through a series of stocks, very diversified, and understand why I would set things up the way I do now versus what I did when I started. And for ultimate transparency, every one of the stocks that I talk about in that video, I own right now. Love to know your thoughts on this. Appreciate you checking it out. I will be back very shortly with more commentary.